I was talking with a guy on Facebook, and he was a very successful founder. We were talking about building products and how you can build a product being a non-technical founder. We were agreeing that, the most important software as a service decision is not technical. He was telling me that before building his product, before writing a single line of code, he talked to almost 300 people of his target audience, and he made around 10k all without programming. And that's the reason why I'm bringing you this video, because I think this is one of the most common problems from technical founders, and I can say that because I am a technical founder. I want to bring you a solution, to explain you what you really need to pay attention to, and you will see that it's not a coding. If this is the first time that you are watching my videos, my name is Justo. I'm in a process of creating 12 apps. I already built the first 6 applications, and I created a system that lets me launch applications in less than 3 weeks. Look, for years, one idea keeps proving true. Markets don't respond to products. They respond to your decisions. They respond to certainty. Okay, this is why the most important software as a service decision happens before any code is written, because before code you decide what exists, who it exists for, the target audience, and what it will mean in the user's mind. Always remember, you don't win the battle with product, you win the battle with marketing. You will see 1,000 products that are almost all the same, but the products that win because they have better marketing. So, as you may already know, code doesn't define that, decisions do. The real point of no return is psychological, not technical. The moment you start building something that a lot of people don't pay attention to happens. You commit, you start defending the idea, and you stop evaluating the idea objectively. Not because you are stubborn, because you are human. The more effort you invest, the harder it becomes to change direction. The easier it becomes to justify weak signals. And that's exactly why the problem isn't being wrong. The problem is committing too early. If you pay attention to products that you may use every single day, like YouTube, Facebook, the most common applications, you will see that a ton of them started with a completely different approach. They started with a completely different product. They didn't stick to that product. They changed the product. They pivoted. In order to be able to create a successful product, you need to be able to change. You need to let yourself change, because building doesn't bring you closer to the market. It brings you closer to your own narrative. As you build without real feedback, your internal story becomes stronger, the market becomes more abstract, and negative signals get filtered out. So you start saying things like, they don't get it yet, it needs one more feature after the next release. This isn't bad intent, it's emotional investment and stacking up. So the real mistake here that a lot of founders make is validating without understanding what real progress means. They validate whether the idea sounds good or not, whether it's understandable, and whether it feels interesting. But you will see. By the way, before continuing with this, I want to remind you that if you want me to help you one-on-one building a product, I can help you turn your idea into a product worth building without wasting months. You just need to book a one-on-one call with me. There are no strings attached, and I will see if we are able to work together. 1,000 products that are not interesting at all, and they are successful. Why? Because they have good marketing. They win the battle in the prospect's mind, and the prospect pays for the product. It's as simple as that. If you are already into marketing, you may already know people don't buy software. They don't buy the product itself. They buy progress. They want to move away from a painful state, reach a better one with less mental effort. If you know the 8 life forces, you may already know what I'm talking about. So if your validation doesn't test that, is not validation. Validation is not talking to 1,000 people, but talking to 1,000 people from your target audience, because they know the problem. And the most important decision is what you will not solve, okay? This is where everything connects. Once you understand the progress someone wants, one consequence is unavoidable, okay? You cannot solve everything, okay? You don't have the time to solve everything, and you shouldn't try to. Strong products are defined by exclusion, okay? What they are not for, which cases they ignore, which promises they refuse to make, because every clear no reduces confusion, lowers friction, and increases adoption. If you try to solve everything, you will stress a lot and you will not create, a good solution for the problem. In contrast to this, if you solve a very specific problem, you will have all the time to put on that specific solution, create better marketing, and understand the problem as no one has been able to do it. On top of this, I believe if you already have a service, you have an advantage, because services already did the hardest work, okay? They found the market, learned the language, and lived the real friction. They understand the problem. That means the software doesn't need to guess, because in this context, the software doesn't invent value, turns judgment into a system, increases learning into repeatable decisions. That's why I believe it works. At the same time, I don't believe that any type of service is worth turning it into a SaaS. I believe that the decisions worth productizing usually share three traits, okay? They are frequent, they are mentally expensive, and they are done wrong again and again. They are not flashy ideas, they are exhausting frictions. That's where software wins. Now, the question that you may ask yourself, okay, or that you may want to ask, when it actually makes sense to think about product. And I believe the best moment to build a product is when you already have the problem defined, the target audience defined, and the context, okay? Who has the problem, which the problem is, and in which situation. I really hope this video helped you. If this helped you, you would also help me a lot if you subscribe to the channel and you hit the like button, because in that way we can keep reaching new people, and it only takes a couple of seconds. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.